Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will understand the writing skills question interview writing. लेकिन पहले समझते हैं कि ये इंटरव्यू क्या होता है. An interview is a formal conversation between two or more persons. The person who asks questions is called as an interviewer, and the person who gives answers to the questions is called as the interviewee. Next देखते हैं types of interview. First type है job interview, and the second type is interview of a reputed person. That is, here we ask questions to a reputed personality, like for example, a sports person, or a scientist, or a social worker, or a film star, or a reputed industrialist. Interview writing. Friends, this question is for 5 marks in class 10 and for 4 marks in class 12 state board exam. क्वेश्चन पेपर में क्वेश्चन का फॉर्मेट ऐसे होता है. Write a set of 10 questions to interview a famous sports person. You are expected to write questions only. अगर आप क्वेश्चंस के साथ आंसर्स भी लिखते हैं तो आंसर्स के आपको मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे because there are no marks, that is no weightage for answers. So friends, let's take this as an example and understand how to write interview, that is how to answer interview writing question. पहले इंटरव्यू राइटिंग का फॉर्मेट देखते हैं. While writing the interview, you should follow this format. That is, आपको introduction पहले लिखना है. Second, you have to write the set of 10 questions. And finally, आपको conclusion लिखना है. First, let's understand how to write the introduction. In the introduction, you have to start with formal greetings with your guest. You have to mention the occasion of the interview, introduce yourself and the guest. Friends, I have given 2 examples. This is the first example. यहाँ मैं गेस्ट का नाम, इंटरव्यू का ओकेशन मेंशन कर रहा हूं. Let's see and read it. I had the privilege means the special right, of interviewing the famous cricketer XYZ. Here you can give the name of the cricketer. During the awards ceremony, after he received the Best Cricketer Award from the President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So here I am trying to create a situation that my guest has received an award. And I am taking the interview immediately after the award ceremony. Here is an excerpt of the interview. Excerpt, friends, means part. It means I'm trying to claim that this is not the entire interview but a part of the interview. So friends, in this first example, I have mentioned the occasion, that is the award ceremony, when I have taken the interview. Here is the second example. Here I am formally greeting the guest and taking permission for the interview before starting. चलो देखते हैं second example को. Welcome sir, a very good morning to you. It gives me immense pleasure to have you with us. We would like to know a lot many things about you. I wish to ask you some questions about your journey. Please allow me. So friends, here I am formally greeting the guest, okay, by saying a very good morning. And then I am taking permission for the interview before starting the interview. See, I wish to ask you some questions. Please allow me. Friends, you should write the introduction. It is not mentioned in the question, but it is a must. अगर आप introduction नहीं लिखते हैं तो आपका 1 मार्क डिडक्ट होता है. Your 1 mark gets reduced. आपको ये बात याद रखनी है. Now we come to the main part of the answer, that is writing a set of questions. Friends, When you are writing questions, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. The first thing is that there are certain questions which you can write only in the introduction part of the interview. And such questions are called as introductory questions. Here, I have given a set of approximately 5 to 6 questions which we will be asking to the guest, that is the cricketer. Remember, these questions are such that you can ask them to any other guest, such as a reputed doctor, or a reputed and successful industrialist, or a dedicated social worker, and so on. For example, see the first question. Hearty congratulations to you, sir or madam. How do you feel on receiving this award? Okay, so I have taken the background that the guest has received the award, the Best Cricketers Award. So, in such a scenario, this is the first question that you can ask. Once you ask this question, then the ball is set rolling. Then questions will keep coming to your mind one after the other. Very often I have found students telling me that, sir, which question should we write first? Well, this is one good way in which you can begin writing the interview. Next, whom do you owe your gratitude to? That means to whom you are thankful to. Who was your main source of inspiration to become a cricketer? Was your family supportive about your decision to pursue your career as a cricketer? Please elaborate. Now, friends, these questions, as I said, owe your gratitude, okay, main source of inspiration, or family supportive. These are the questions which you can ask in the initial phase of the interview, that is introductory questions. There are two things which I want you to note over here. The first is, look at the variety of WH questions that we are using. For example, over here I have used how, then whom, then who, and here was and what. Yes, generally we have to frame WH type of questions. But in case if you are using verbal questions, then in that case you have to use this phrase, please elaborate. So when the question is, was your family supportive about your decision to pursue your career as a cricketer? If you stop over here, then such a kind of a question is eliciting a yes or no answer. This you have to avoid, and therefore you have to add please elaborate. That means you're expecting the guest not just to give answer in yes or no, but you are expecting him or her to give more details. What difficulties did you face while training to be a cricketer? Which memorable experience of your childhood or school or early days of cricket would you like to narrate to us? Now, out of childhood, school, or early days, you can mention any one, not all. What role has your coach played in your success? This is a very important question when it comes to, interview of a sports person and so on. Okay. Additionally, you can even ask other questions also, like, for example, why did you choose to become a cricketer, or who was your strongest support, and so on. In short, my dear friends, I have given you a variety of questions, and you can write, or you are expected to write approximately 3 introductory questions. 3 to 4 introductory questions. Once you complete writing a set of 3 questions, that is introductory questions, then you have to proceed to the next level. That is, you have to ask content-based questions to the guest. In case of an interviewer, the questions could be like, what has been the best part of your experience as a cricketer? What problems did you face and tackle? and how did you tackle them? In what ways have you contributed to the field of cricket? Friends, these are the questions which are related to work, and therefore you are expected to write approximately three content based questions, that is, questions which are related to the work area of the guest. So friends, remember, these are general type of questions, as I said earlier, which you can ask to, a social worker, say industrialist, or a film star, and so on. Like for example, see the best part of the experience, problems faced, contribution to the field, okay, the field of medicine. Now you're supposed to proceed to the next level of questions, that is probing questions, where you have to ask questions regarding his thought process, his ideas, okay, the failures, the setbacks that he has experienced, and so on. Like, for example, what changes would you like to bring about in Indian cricket? Which qualities, according to you, are the most essential to become a good and successful cricketer? How did you overcome your failures and setbacks? Through these probing questions, we are trying to find out the mindset, the thinking, the perspective of our guest. We can even ask, for example, what future does Indian cricket have at the international level? So all these are probing questions, and you are expected to write approximately 2 to 3 probing questions. There are some other questions also which you can include as probing questions, such as what other interests do you have besides cricket? What do you think has been your greatest achievement as a cricketer? Or whom do you consider as the rising star in cricket? So these questions can also be considered at this particular moment of the interview. You can use them as probing questions. Now friends, we are coming almost to the end of the interview. So the questions that we are asking now are called as concluding questions. So some examples I have given over here, like for example, how do you see your career growth and graph in the future? What plans do you have for the future, that is other than cricket? Okay. What message would you like to give to the youth who wish to follow your footsteps? Friends, these two questions, that is future plans and message to the youth or to the society or to the citizens of our country, these are the two very important questions which are a must, which you are expected to definitely write in the interview. Perhaps you can phrase them according to the different type of guests. Now we come to the third and the last part of the interview, that is the conclusion. So in the conclusion, you have to thank the guest. You have to express your gratitude. Okay. So this is how you have to write it. I express my gratitude to you for giving your precious time and talking to us. All the best for your future plans. So friends, this is how we are supposed to answer this question of interview writing. Friends, there are certain points which you need to remember. I have already spoken about some of them earlier. Okay, let's have a quick look at them. First, introduction, then the set of questions, and then the conclusion. Second, questions should be in sequence. That is, the introductory questions first, then the content-based questions, thereafter the probing questions, and finally the concluding questions. Thirdly, remember you have to frame WH type of questions, not verbal questions. In case if you are writing a verbal question, then you have to end it with please elaborate. You have to request the guest to elaborate. The WH questions should end with a question mark. See to it that you use a variety of questions. That is, some questions should be starting with what or when, where, which, who, and so on. I have already explained this earlier. Ask relevant questions only. Friends, I have seen students write questions like, what is your name? Okay, what is your father's name? What is your mother's name, and so on. Remember, you know the guest, you have basic information about the guest beforehand, before taking the interview. So these questions are absolutely irrelevant and you are not expected to write such kind of questions at all. Next, proper mannerism should be followed. In other words, you are not supposed to ask personal questions at all. Next, formal language should be used and the appropriate formal vocabulary also should be used while framing the questions. Most important point, and that is the spellings should be accurate. There should be no spelling mistakes. Your questions should be framed in such a way that they are grammatically correct. And the sentence structure should be of the WH type questions. We know the sentence structure is like this. First the WH word, followed by the helping verb, followed by the subject, followed by the main verb, and then the remaining part ending with a question mark. This sentence structure should be properly followed. Friends, I have made video on this topic, framing WH type questions, in 2 parts. You can definitely see those videos. Finally, you have to use discourse markers when you're writing the questions, like for example, well, rightly said, and so on. So friends, this was the video on interview writing. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching it. Do like, share and subscribe. Bye.